God bless you, global Christian friends. Bless the American government. The Bible said, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more abominable and filthy is man which drinketh iniquity like water. You don't want to answer that. You need to correct that in spite of the heavens. The Bible said the stars are not pure in his sight. How much less man that is a worm. You need to make sure Mark 9:44 and Mark 96 and Mark 9:48 do not occur in spite of the stars. So in spite of the stars and in spite of the heavens, we need to know the knowledge. God is an economist. He don't waste space. He calls space to be occupied with one form of matter or another. We want you to get your King James Bible this evening, as always. Get your paper and pencil, because many a time we stay in spiritual planetariums with the knowledge that God sends forth from this place. We're in John chapter 6. After Jesus had departed from one mountain to another to avoid being made a king by the great multitude who had just feasted on his miracle of 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish taken from a lad, John 6 and 9. The apostles, who he named apostles, that's Luke 6:13, which means sent ones, had taken up 12 baskets over of the remaining barley loaves after the miracles of feeding over 5,000 people. And when Jesus perceived, and this is not the first time that Jesus perceived, you got Matthew 6:8, Matthew 22:18, Mark 2 and 8, Luke 5:22, Luke 20 and 23, as well as here in John 6:15. We'll get to that shortly. He perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king, even though he told Pilate, "Thou sayest that I am a king, and to this end was I born, and for this cause came out into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth." John 18 and 37. He departed again into a mountain himself alone. John 6:15. We'll get to that shortly. I say that this mode of transport from mountain to mountain was that of John 5:13, as he departed from the pool of Bethesda. You can read with clear understanding another act of Jesus in John 8:59 and follow his action going through the midst of them in his hidden immaterial state, and so pass by. You do not see him, but you see the path of his trail going through the midst of them, and so pass by. By observation, or my observation of Jesus, is not meant to offend the faith of any believer in him. There are some who need the word of the apostles of Luke 17 and 5. Lord, increase our faith. The planet Earth is the only known planet of which there is a record of both Father and Son visiting it. After Jesus departed again, look on this word, into a mountain. When even was now come, his disciples went down unto the sea. We've given the scriptures of Jesus walking upon the sea. Matthew 14, 22, 27. Mark 6, 45 through 52. And it is better to describe him walking upon the sea than to describe him walking upon the water. Walking upon the sea would rid the mind of deception and illusions of walking upon water. Whereas walking upon the sea, about the fourth watch of the night, Matthew 14, 25, Mark 6, 48, there is no audience at sea. This incident at sea is not as the incident at sea in Matthew 8, 26, Mark 4, 39, and Luke 8 and 24. The reason the disciples went over the sea toward Capernaum was because that was where Jesus lodged, Matthew 4 and 13, to fulfill the prophecy of Isaiah chapter 9, verses 1 and 2. In John 6, 19, they see Jesus walking on the sea and drawing nigh unto them. Jesus could have just as easily conveyed over the sea to reach his dwelling, Mark 2 and 1. What is it like to be within 6 feet of a man capable of actually walking upon the sea, even at night? There's the beetle known as the Jesus beetle because he can walk on water. So why should you make a beetle that can walk on water and you yourself cannot? When all things are made by you, John 1 and 3. Even the sea you're walking upon. We're not going to get into the principles and laws of buoyancy in order to prove the scriptures of his sea walk, no more than we're going to attempt to explain how men walk in space from their underwater practice. It is a very simple understanding. If he made all things in John 1 and 3, he can do all things. Just like Philippians and 4 and 13. And we will continue this later on, Global Christian Friends. God bless you.